Welcome to the fourth lecture of the Marketing and Customer Support module. This is the last lecture of this module. The topic of this lecture is blockchain and marketing and online marketing management. To understand the content of this lecture, we recommend that you have previously watched the lectures of Module 1, Introduction to Blockchain Methodology, and Module 3, Fundamentals of Blockchain and Distributed Ledger Technology. The learning material is designed to provide you with important future skills. See Ehlers 2020. To gain the ability to effectively manage or develop blockchain services and processes. Our agenda. In this lecture, we want to discuss the added value of the blockchain technology for marketing and online marketing management. We start with the learning objectives of this lecture and the module. Then, we will give you an overview of the challenges marketing has to face and how blockchain technology can help with these challenges in the communication and creative industry. Afterwards, we have a look at big data management for online marketing. We will close this lecture with a short conclusion. This slide shows an overview of the knowledge, skills, and responsibilities and autonomies you will acquire in this lecture. Our learning objectives. After this lecture, you should have an awareness of the role of blockchain in marketing. You should be able to demonstrate strategies for customer support and service design and have the capability to share blockchain-based marketing strategies. Marketing challenges. Like all areas, the advancing digitalization also presents marketing with various challenges. Ad frauds and brand safety. Display advertising is a frequently used form of advertising in the online sector. It is advertising that is not only played on the company's own website, but uses advertising space from other websites that are not the company's own. Challenges in connection with display advertising are the so-called ad frauds and the lack of brand safety. Ad frauds refers to the additional generation of traffic and clicks by programmed robots. In 2018 alone, the advertisement industry lost $19 billion in advertising expenditure due to ad fraud. Brand safety, on the other hand, describes the company's certainty that the advertising for their products and their brand is only shown in an environment that conforms to the brand, on websites that match the brand image. Due to the increasing automation of banner ad targeting, this certainty no longer exists. Increasingly, brands are being placed in a context that does not correspond to the brand's intended image. End-to-end transparency. Beyond the challenges of digital transformation, marketing in general has a difficult time in society. Marketing is seen as an immoral manipulation of consumers to buy products or services that they don't actually need. The reasons for the bad reputation include problematic aspects in the value chain of the products, such as poor quality, child labor by subcontractors, animal testing, or polluting manufacturing processes. In the industrial age, the brand functioned as an instant of trust for the consumer. Before buying, consumers lacked information about products and services and could not fully assess their suitability for their needs. The brand was supposed to offer the consumer security and reflect the promise of quality that was communicated one-dimensionally in advertising. In today's internet age, this message is conveyed through public, bidirectional dialogue and social media. This public transparency is again based on the brand and company claims. Consumers find it difficult to rely on the veracity of these statements. In order to strengthen trust in the brand and the product, companies need to give their consumers the opportunity to verify compliance with the quality criteria themselves. The challenge for companies is to enable comprehensive transparency and logging of the production process so that it is possible for consumers to check. On the one hand, the individual steps of production must be verifiable at all times. And on the other hand, violations of the company's own value criteria by suppliers and partner companies must be sanctioned immediately. For many companies, this end-to-end transparency is very complex and difficult to maintain due to the countless suppliers and production steps. Blockchain in the communication and creative industry. Blockchain can offer of great added value for the field of marketing communication and for the creative industry in general. In the age of copy and paste, unauthorized duplication of the creative intellectual property on the internet is on the rise. Blockchain technology can help to uncover the digital paths that images have taken and thus enable clear attribution of sources. Smart contracts and blockchain can enable limit on transferability and immediately identify duplicates. There's also talk of smart licensing in this area. Compared to normal licenses, blockchain technology can be used to prove that the license is authentic and that the author has not sold more copies elsewhere. Existing platforms, mostly Ethereum-based, can authenticate owners and connect them to their digital intellectual property on the blockchain. A digital web crawler searches the web for duplicates that have not been shared by the owner, thus enabling the copyright holder to quickly claim copyright infringement. Similar applications can be found in the music industry, where smart contracts can help artists to better manage their digital rights and ensure increased transparency for payments of their work. Music platforms supported by blockchain give music tracks a cryptographic ID and enable seamless tracking of distribution. Blockchain could also enable dynamic pricing. By replacing the intermediary position, artists themselves choose what price they want to set for their works. These applications can be adapted to any type of creative property. The best known movement in this direction are NFTs. A non-fungible token, or NFT, is a cryptographically unique, indivisible, irreplaceable, and verifiable token that represents a specific item, whether digital or physical, on a blockchain. While NFTs use the same technology with the blockchain as cryptocurrencies, unlike the latter, they are unique and non-divisible, i.e., non-fungible. NFTs are managed via smart contracts, among other things. An NFT usually only contains a reference, a URL, to a digital content stored on a server, not the image or audio file or similar to which it refers. The nature of the rights associated with the acquisition of an NFT is not uniformly regulated. However, enforceable rights, such as the utility rights to a song or the ownership rights to physical objects whose image is being traded, are not usually transferred in the process. Nor does an NFT have any informative value about the validity and integrity of the digital resource to which it refers, i.e., whether the file has been changed or still exists at all. An NFT can only be purchased as a whole and exists only one. Non-fungible tokens can be used where virtual goods are to be assigned a label. They can be collected and traded as proof of certain rights to the objects themselves. This applies, for example, to digital art, music, or individual objects in computer games or D-apps. NFTs can also fulfill the function of an admission ticket or membership card. The creators of the NFTs, of the so-called Bored Ape Yacht Club, also allow their owners to commercially utilize the motifs. NFTs have fallen into disrepute in recent years, as has cryptocurrency itself, that it is a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme. Brand trust. The task of the brand is to serve as an orientation for the consumer between the set of emerging purchase options. For this task, brands must be relevant to the consumer and create trust. But the brand's benefit has changed over the last decades and goes beyond the central product benefit. In addition to the product benefit, the brand must have a peripheral benefit for the consumer, which is based more on the values of a company and is not directly related to the core product. These values can be social, environmental, or ethical. It is important for the brand that the promises made about the central or peripheral brand benefits are kept. The mere promise is not enough. The brand must present transparent evidence in order to be credible to the customer. If this is now also made accessible to the public, this can be used for the marketing of companies. Quality promises about product characteristics and other values or business practices with which a company advertises can become transparently verifiable and controllable for the customer. Advertisers no longer tell the story of a brand in the form of storytelling, but rather in the form of documentation that is based on controllable facts and can thus build up a more trusting bond with the consumer. Benefits for online marketing. The application of blockchain technology can be of great importance for the communication industry. Especially the online marketing sector can benefit from the implementation of the technology. The blockchain can make the digital value chain more transparent and enable direct business between advertisers and digital publishers. So far, the transaction system that advertisers have to deal with when they want to target their ads online on different websites is very opaque. Here, BCT could help to make this process more transparent and intermediary free in favor of the advertisers. This affects, for example, the trading desks, which take over the purchase of media spaces and digital reach for the web operators. The trading desk, at which the advertisers bid for the advertising spaces, could thus become superfluous and reduce the length of the value chain to a minimum. This direct communication is safer and more cost efficient for the company. This could go as far as to reduce losses through ad frauds by only charging the advertising company when an actually identifiable user registered on the blockchain visits the page. In this way, traffic numbers and clicks falsely increased by bots can be avoided. This allows for a more cost-efficient investment of advertising budgets, which demonstrably reaches the customer. There are already existing platforms based on the blockchain technology for eliminating all intermediaries that stand between the purchase of an ad space and the playout of the ad on a website. Advertisers and publishers can communicate directly with each other, and advertisers are able to transparently track within their dashboard in which environment and how often their advertising was played and accessed. It is not only the business-to-business, B2B, area in online marketing that is to be optimized by the blockchain. The technology can also revolutionize communication between brands and customers in the business-to-consumer, B2C, sector. With the help of the blockchain, customers could specify exactly from which brands and companies they would like to receive advertising, and only this would then be displayed to them. Since the identity of customers is anonymized in the blockchain, but all previous transactions are still available in a decentralized manner, it is possible to use this information across retailers for a more personal and individualized customer approach. This would make it recommendations to customers in online shops that are tailored to their personal profile. Big data management. In order to properly classify blockchain applications for marketing, one has to get to know online marketing. An important tool in the last few years, which is also relevant for blockchain applications, is big data management. Big data. A number of researchers and analysts have attempted to define big data. One possible definition is: big data are large and complex datasets which require advanced and unique storage, management, analysis, and visualization technologies. Most analysts and researchers that attempt to define big data focus on the most significant attributes, or else the so-called V's of big data, which actually characterize the nature of the data: high volume, high velocity, and high variety. Volume refers to the amount of data that are created and can be processed by big data techniques. The volume of data which are created is rapidly growing. Since today, petabytes of data are created in daily basis. Handling the huge volume of data constitutes a challenge for IT, since it increases the need for scalable and dynamic storage and new approaches to querying. Velocity regards the frequency at which data are generated as well as the latency of the data. The augmenting rate of data generation requires massive parallel processing and bigger space in order for these data to be analyzed. Variety refers to the different types and sources of data. In big data systems, data are generated from various sources and can be found in diverse types, such data mining for insights and decision making. Tools and technologies used for big data need to be able to analyze larger amounts of unstructured data in various types from several sources. Online customer segmentation types. One very exciting field of big data used for marketing is the segmentation of online customers. As described above, blockchain also offers us a good transparent database to make advertising more transparent and efficient. Online customer segmentation is the process of dividing customers into distinct and homogeneous groups. most significant attributes are effective methods for different management of customers with different preferences while still developing diverse marketing strategies. Online customer segmentation is based on information collected online. Value-based is a segmentation process through which customers are characterized according to their value. Customer value has been described as customer equity or customer profitability. Moreover, there are several models for estimating customer value. In order to perform value-based segmentation, a certain procedure for determining the value of the customer should be developed. The term value does not necessarily entail only the monetary profits derived from the customer. Value components that constitute the customer's engagement value include customer lifetime value, determined by customers' purchase behavior, customer referral value, also known as CRV, that relates to the acquisition of new customers, customer influencer value regarding customers' behavior to influencing other customers, and customer knowledge value regarding the value added to the firm by receiving customers' feedback. Behavioral segmentation is a process through which customers are grouped according to usage, attitude, and behavior regarding a product or promotion. In a traditional CRM system that integrates data only from offline channels, these customer data can be retrieved from firms' data warehouse. Customer attributes that can be collected for behavioral segmentation contain product ownership, type of transactions and frequency of transactions, revenue history, payments, and product utilization. Loyalty or engagement segmentation is used to determine different groupings of customers according to different degrees of or loyalty to supplier or brand. The segments for loyalty or engagement segmentation are often created by applying simple business rules and/or cluster models on survey or database information. Such segmentation contributes into identifying the less loyal customers, so as retention actions can be implemented in order to raise customers' loyalty. Attributes related to customer loyalty can be engagement/loyalty score, frequency of purchase, number of complaints, new or old customer. Through social demographic and life stage segmentation, customers are grouped according to their demographic or social characteristics. This segmentation type is one of the most commonly used, as the characteristics it includes can influence the changes in customers' needs, attitudes, preferences, and usage behaviors. At this point, it should be underlined, though, that it is quite common that customers with a similar demographic and social characteristics can have different needs and preferences. Customer attributes can be tracked and used for social demographic segmentation include age, gender, income, ethnicity, marital status, education, and other personal details of the consumer. Needs or attitudinal-based segmentation is performed in order to explore customers' needs that can be fulfilled by the purchase of a product or service, wants, views, attitudes, and preferences. This segmentation type can be useful for new product development, since clients' preferences that are revealed can be used as an input for the design of new product requirements. Moreover, it can be used for enhancing the effective communication of the brand image and the key features or products of services. In an offline environment, the data needed for this kind of segmentation can be basically gathered from external sources like market surveys, through which customers are able to express their opinions and preferences. Specific for an online environment are the referral and technical customer segmentation types. Referral segmentation asks the questions: how did the visitor end up on the website? What are the previous visited channels? Did they visit the website over advertising or incentives? Especially in the online marketing environment, it is very important to track which forms of advertising and advertising environments lead to higher website visitor rates. Technical segmentation shows technical information of the used device. Differences here are the operating system, mobile use or laptop use, but also which device was used. This can also be used to derive social demographic data. Customer segmentation techniques. Classification. Classification is a very well-known set of techniques used for data mining. It is used in order to classify certain data into distinct groups based on certain characteristics that are defined at the initial state. This means that they are basically used for prediction of future events and behavior. Classification is characterized as a supervised learning technique, as they use a training data set that contains the variable according to which data are characterized into groups, as well as the class attribute. Classification can be used to predict effectively behavior of customers that belong into specific segments where an objective outcome exists or a clear hypothesis can be formulated. For example, it can be used to predict customer churn rate or the buying decisions of the consumers, as well as for optimization of business processes such as scheduling or performance of investments. Classification techniques can work effectively for very large data sets as well. Customer segmentation techniques, clustering. Cluster analysis is a traditional statistical method used for classifying a collection of things into segments whose members have similar characteristics. Unlike classification, clustering belongs to the unsupervised learning techniques, which entail the modeling of data with the involvement of inputs without having a predefined output. All data inputs are treated similarly in order to obtain information for the determination of groups or associations. Therefore, in clustering the characteristics according to which the objects are characterized into segments, or else classics, are initially unknown. The clusters are determined when relevant clustering algorithms are applied on the dataset under investigation and the similarities in the characteristics of the objects are identified. They are preferred for behavioral, technical, and referral segmentation. Customer segmentation techniques, regression. Regression belongs to the family of traditional statistical techniques. Same as classification, regression techniques are unsupervised learning techniques and are used for prediction and forecasting. Regression is used for mapping each data element to a prediction variable, which is a real number and not a class label. Regression analysis makes the change visible in the typical value of the dependent variable when one of the independent variables is varied while the other independent variable remains stable. Regression techniques are often used to predict economic values, sales volume, or to identify possible factors that might affect customer loyalty or customer satisfaction. Customer segmentation techniques, association. Association constitutes a set of algorithms used for data mining, and they belong to unsupervised learning techniques. Such techniques are applied in large databases in order to analyze and discover association rules. This means that they are capable of uncovering interesting relationships among the variables of the database. Two popular kinds of associations rules mining are link analysis and sequence mining. With the former, the connection among many objects is automatically detected, while the latter, the relationship among the objects is explored according to the order that they occur, identification of relationships over time. It is commonly used in retailing industry for market-based analysis and descriptions of consumer behavior. More specifically, it is used in finding associations among products that a certain client of a supermarket has bought, which can be recorded by the so-called point of sale or checkout system. An association rule algorithm can be well fitted in a very large database, since the number of distinct categories presented in the data is not required to be specified to move on with the determination of association rules. Customer segmentation techniques, visualization. Visualization techniques are used for creating images, diagrams, or animations which intend, in combination with other techniques, to provide a better understanding of underlying relationships. The goal of visualization techniques is to illustrate data and information in a way that they can be more understandable and thus decision-making can be enhanced. They are used mostly in the field of health and natural sciences. Furthermore, they are often useful for marketers and decision makers who wish to target profitable and loyal customers. Currently, there are several techniques and technologies for visualization which can process huge amounts of numerical or text data. Questions and actions for customer segmentation. Here you can see an overview of possible goals and which questions you should ask in this regard, which segmentation types can be helpful in answering the individual questions, and which actions can result from this. Here you can see an overview of possible goals and which questions you should ask in this regard, which segmentation types can be helpful in answering the individual questions, and which actions can result from this. Our conclusion. Blockchain can be used for marketing processes, especially in the area of copyright protection. This opens up interesting possibilities based on blockchain. Blockchain as another investment asset in the form of NFTs should be critically questioned. In order to understand blockchain applications in the area of individualized targeting, one should first familiarize oneself with the online marketing processes and the existing analysis techniques. Thank you for watching this lecture, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the lectures in this module as well.